Hello, this is Mr. Usher with your update for Chapter 2. This should be Wednesday, and let's just kind of take a look and I'll run through a few things. Maybe before we jump into Chapter 2, we should take a look at Chapter 1 and make sure that there's no questions on everything. But had some students referring to this information that was posted on each assignment. So you do see a little note here, and that would refer to a file needing to be saved to show evidence of completion of the assignment. You'd follow all the steps from the textbook. You would click on this button right here where it says Chapter 1 Exercise 6, the automobile, and then you would then attach the file. We can scroll down again and see the same thing. You would need to save this as your name, your ID number, passwords. But only in Chapter 1 will we have some files that will give you some different information. So right here where it says practice using help, watch the video tutorial and mark the assignment as complete when you are done. The reason why I put that for this one, for email messages, and for when I skip down here to searching the web, is because that those assignments were probably a little bit better done maybe in a classroom setting. And I wanted you to watch the video tutorial, just kind of follow along with the steps, and then I think that would fulfill the requirements for those assignments. There will be maybe one more assignment in Chapter 2. I think it's the benefit, where you'll need to watch the video tutorial, and there will be something that I believe you can submit from that. But everything else, I think the video tutorials could be optional, but I do recommend that you take a look at them. Just so you can, just double check your work before you submit it. So once you have all that complete, I think you're ready for Chapter 2. So I'm going to go ahead and click Chapter 2 over here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page. Well, it's not posted yet, so from a teacher's standpoint, this is what it would look like, because they will be appearing tomorrow morning. And right now I'm accessing the Chapter 2 assignments list, which will be down at the bottom of the list once they appear for you guys. And if I scroll down as it loads up, we're going to see that you're going to start off, you're going to have 3 practices. The practice request. This is an assignment where you're learning how to write a full block business letter. And that's pretty important because when you guys apply to college, you might have to write a business letter. When you guys apply to your first job, an actual career, they might require you to write a cover letter. So learning this full block letter style is important. In the end, it does kind of turn out to be just a simple formatting and typing assignment. But if you do think about the experience that you're given by writing a letter, I would say that it is definitely important. The next one is orientation, and something about orientation that you're going to do for the very first time is you're going to use a data file. You've used data files, I guess, in a sense for the chapter review, but for this assignment you're going to open up the data file that is attached to where the assignment should be submitted in the chapter topic for Chapter 2. And this data file orientation is kind of like a pre-formatted document that already has the information there, so you don't have to type out the whole thing. You're just going to be making some changes. You're going to be going through parts 1 through 4 and completing orientation. I believe on part 4 they would want you to email me an attachment, and you don't have to do that. That's not required. The last one is benefit, and benefit was another one of those tough assignments that probably would be best suited for a classroom environment. And in this case, watching the video tutorial might help you out best to complete this assignment, and there should be just a little file that you can submit after that. Just on every chapter, you guys will have your review questions, and then you're going to move into the exercises. The exercises, this is an actual cover letter, but this time, rather than copying the information, you guys are going to write the letter. And I think this gives you really good real-life experience. So for maybe, if I looked at all the other assignments that you've been assigned at this point, this one would probably be my favorite, because you're not just following step-by-step directions, you're actually writing something that could really be used in real life, in a situation of applying for a job. So all the information that you need is in the textbook. You'll need to read the job description and write the best letter to sell yourself to this employer, this manager that would possibly be hiring you for a clothing store. The next one is the grand opening, and that's going to be a flyer, and maybe kind of take the idea that if you got hired at this new job from that cover letter, that now you need to make a flyer. That was maybe your first job duty, and you would need to make a flyer for a grand opening of this new business that's opening up in your area. So, kind of a fun assignment. You guys can make a flyer. You could use a template, but in the end, it's just kind of showing you the diversity of the different things that you can do with Microsoft Office, and it just has a few steps that it wants you to follow when you're creating your flyer. Also notice that there's a flyer rubric. You can stop after step F. Okay. The last one is math equations and equations, and this exercise 14, it wanted you to take the perspective as if you were in a math class and you were writing down equations that would be challenging to write otherwise by typing. On your ribbon on the right hand side, I believe it's on the insert tab, is an equations button, and I would want you to try to simulate some math problems either that you would have currently had maybe in your classes last semester, and try to write them out, and then you're going to create a math quiz. If you do follow the instructions, they do set it up for you to create two separate files, one for equations, one for math quiz. But I'd say rather than creating a separate file, you can just go down to the next page and just turn it into a two-page document. So chapter 1, I'd say, in summary of everything, was pretty easy. Make sure you guys meet the deadline of getting it submitted on that Wednesday night at 11:59, because I don't want to have to deal with any late work. Please start chapter 2, and chapter 2 is going to be due on Saturday at 11:59, and we're rolling now. So things are going to start to, if you found chapter 1 to be very basic and very easy, that's the way that it was designed. So now chapter 2 is going to kind of put it into gear a little bit, and we're going to show how we use Microsoft Word to create some common things, just from what I'm looking at right here: a cover letter, a flyer, and to simulate creating maybe a math quiz. And as we start moving into chapter 3 and chapter 4, things will improve on the degree of difficulty, and you will start to learn a lot more about Microsoft Word. So as always, if you have any questions, please email me, and good luck with chapter 2.